Hello everyone, this is Chrism, and I'd like to invite you to another conversation about your Kundalini awakening experience. In this conversation I would like to discuss you and how you look, how you feel, and I mean this within the parameters of the society on this world that you live in. Many times people early on in their childhood who have a proclivity towards Kundalini later on in life, but early in their childhood they are given many difficult experiences, from child abuse to being challenged size-wise, looks-wise, intellect-wise, emotional stability-wise. I mean, there are many challenges that are given to a person in their childhood and teen years before the Kundalini takes hold. And this is in order for the person to be able to burn off some of the karma that's getting in the way, or that would get in the way of their Kundalini awakening as they have it later on in life. These difficult areas can cause a person to become extremely depressed. And I want you to know that you don't need to take a chemical or a drug to control this depression. The Kundalini in you knows how to modulate your endocrine system and the hormones within your body to allow you a doorway out of depression. And I will encourage a person to find an MD or to find a healthcare practitioner who has some idea about Kundalini. Yes, I know this is difficult because most of them don't. Most of them do not. But go online and look and research and do your research and do your very best to not impede the Kundalini in its hormonal modulation of the chemicals your body produces, dopamine, etc., in order to find a restorative emotional balance. Selected serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, they can cause problems for Kundalini. Science doesn't recognize Kundalini, but Kundalini is there nonetheless. So I would definitely find a physician that is at least willing to do some research and educate themselves about Kundalini, which they also label as a spiritual emergency. That's not the main thrust, though, of this conversation. In this conversation, I want to talk to you about depression. You can find a lot of the people who are suffering this. They're not hooked on alcohol or a drug or anything like this. They're just not feeling good about themselves based upon what they've had to do to burn off some of the karma earlier in their childhood, and this programming has lasted into their early adult years or their late teens. And I want to suggest that when the Kundalini comes, that you throw off the shackles of depression expression. Depression expression, dark colors or music that is hurtful or different ways of venting extreme rage or anger, self-mutilation in the various forms that occurs. I will suggest that you start yourself anew, and yes, this may mean that you have to change your friends, because in many ways like attracts like, and depressive people will attract other depressive people around them. And I want you to look at that, realize that you're having Kundalini. And if you have been, through the first 2 decades of your life, because of difficult experiences that happened through karmic conditioning, finding yourself going into really severe pain-based belief systems or pain-based expressions of hatred, revenge, greed, power over others, I want you to reassess that, and I want you to do your best to change away from those expressions while you're having Kundalini. It will not serve you well within a Kundalini process. Yes, the shadow is always recognized, and And as we live our lives on this world, the shadow is definitely exalted. I mean, look at the wars that we're having. Look at all of the different expressions of hatred, rage, and anger, and deprivation, and corruption that we're experiencing on this world. So the shadow's being honored here, to be sure. And so to bring us into a better balance with both sides of the coin as we walk the rim of the coin, the rim or the edge of the Tao, where on one side we have the light, on the other side we have the dark. Well, in our experience here on this world, I'm going to suggest you go more towards the light. Let the light of love fill you. Let the enlightenment fill you. And let it determine your self-expression. So if you were a trench coat person in high school or junior high or whatever, and you're really engulfed in satanic and I'm not trying to bash any belief systems here. All I'm trying to do is help you change from a level of depression, hatred, anger, rage to expressions of joy, love, no depression, happiness, positive self-worth. This is where it counts for Kundalini, because it will really, really amplify those areas. And it'll amplify those areas in a way that allow you to move forward in your life, that allow you to make those changes. And I'm gonna really suggest that you make these changes. You do not need to be a vampire to be successful in an enlightenment experience. Vampirism is just another word for people who take energy from others because they can't develop themselves. Well, Kundalini is in you already. You don't need to suck energy from someone else. Okay? You've got it within you. You've got it. You've got what millions of people are striving to have. You've got it right now. And I'm going to suggest that you recognize that and you begin to turn your life around. Turn your life around. If you're into alcohol, get out of alcohol. Don't even do a little bit. If you're smoking pot, if you're doing methamphetamine, if you're, whatever the drugs are on the street these days, don't do any of them. Allow the Kundalini to kill that addiction, and it will. If you surrender to the Kundalini, it will kill that addiction. And one way that I just showed you, actually, the Kundalini just showed you through me. I didn't realize it until I looked at my hands as I was expressing to you. This mudra here. Look at this. These fingers come together like so, and these two fingers come down. Okay? Use this mudra as a way of healing yourself. This will help with your addiction. So once again, they come together, and if you look at them, they look like the Mercedes-Benz symbol, the little creases in your fingers and your thumb. And make sure these are buried deeply into the palm chakra. Okay? There are tools, and Kundalini is so smart, so intelligent, so divine, that there are no parameters that it cannot overcome if you surrender to it and you allow it to help you find balance in your life. Consider this. You are worth it. An enlightenment process is a rare gift. It is a jewel. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I want you to be able to enjoy it to its fullest potential within you. Thanks for watching.